Do it.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's BNE Productions.
It's BNE.
Episode. This will be 5. In order of
Is
which
it
they come
5?
out. This is 5. Yeah.
Alright.
Episode 5.
You know, why am I dumb as hell? Like, I'm sure people are like, wow, Elijah really doesn't fucking
Doesn't
know.
keep up with his own product.
Yeah. I asked like two times ago.
Yeah,
I was like, this is number 3? Oh my god.
It's just gonna be a tradition.
Oh my god.
Elijah asked, "This is what number are we on?"
I'm just
now?
drunk. Always dead. Alright.
Episode 5. Okay. We made it, dude. We've made it this far.
I know. It's gonna be really far though.
Yeah, man. Because I think about it all the time. Like, even though we don't get the views and whatever, like, it's still fun to make these.
It's the most amount of fun to be able to do something like this.
It really is, man.
For
and
no
just
reason.
Post it,
For
and
no
then,
reason.
You know, it's just, I don't know, it's fun. We're recording this at 3 in the morning, though. 3:30 in the morning. So
3:38.
3:30
You got
a.m.
alfalfa going
Do
on.
I? Yeah.
Your gel tailor is done.
It's Dunyan rings, man. The gel is out.
Mm-hmm.
It's alright, though. So yeah, we were mulling over some topics, and we think we got a good one in store for you guys today. You ever been to a party, Elijah? Unfortunately, we're doing a podcast in which cameras are not allowed.
We don't have the webcam yet. Yeah.
Oh, that was
Dude,
so
stop
fucking
laughing.
funny. Okay, back on track.
I
Back
was just
on
trying to
topic.
take a drink, and he was trying to talk to me.
Okay, so you've been to parties. I've been to parties.
Yeah, I've been to parties.
I'm sure our listeners out there have been to parties.
Yeah, I had a lot of parties. Honestly, I think that for maybe the 3 years that we held parties, I probably have held parties more than I have been to any parties. But I feel like it's kind of the same. Like, even when you hold parties, you still have to go. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Because you're the host of the party.
You don't really get to be like, yeah, man, or yeah, men, women, everyone. Like, I'm gonna have a party, but then you're not there. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you have
Can you
to
imagine
be there,
hosting a party that you're not a part of?
Exactly. Like, you have to experience everything. But as the host, I guess you have a little bit more responsibility.
I would say that it's definitely like it was that way when I first ever started partying, because I started partying, believe it or not, with my mom.
Oh yeah.
Like when I was 16.
I started partying with your mom too.
Yeah, you were there. You were there for those days, man. When I
Yeah.
was like, well, when we were like learning to drive, like 15, we'd sneak into the liquor cabinet and, you know, I would have all this extra money that I would just so happen to leave around that my mom would just so happen to use it for booze, and then we'd take the booze and then throw a party with it.
We were in the garage.
So you might know the story that I have to share with the audience today. You might know.
Could be.
So
the way that you explained it, I don't really know.
moral of the story, we're gonna show. I'm hosting today, if you can tell. We're gonna be a couple of party boys tonight, and we're gonna show you guys, or not show you guys. We're gonna tell you guys some stories.
We are not going to show you.
We're not showing you guys shit. So we're gonna tell you guys some stories about some of the party experiences that we had, starting with Elijah. And then once he's done, I'm going to tell a story from back in my day. And then we're going to collab tell a story if we got time.
The collab is a very recent story.
Very recent story. Take it away, man. You got full mic.
All right, bro. So, I want to give a full disclaimer that I guess I won't say what exactly it was. But I was under the influence, okay? It was my first time. So, I used to work at AMC. If you haven't listened to the podcast about work stories.
The work life.
That was 2 episodes ago now. And you should definitely listen to that. I do talk about very, very minutely about how I worked at AMC and Family Video and stuff like that. But yeah, I used to work at AMC. I had a really good friend there. I hung out with him and talked to him for a couple of years. And when I worked at AMC, I was actually, I mean, I guess by a lot of people's standards, which most people would say is not very young, getting into partying and stuff, but I was pretty young. Which, if you want to talk about also how young I was when I got into certain things that a lot of normal people, I suppose, would have gotten into, then you can check out the last podcast because I was a devout I was a devout Christian. I didn't really get exposed to a lot of things until I was in public school. So, hey, I'm plugging the channel. You know what I'm saying? So when I was 15, I worked at McDonald's and then I started working at AMC. Right. So I met a guy. Not gonna say his name. It doesn't really matter. But I met a guy, and he was a really outgoing dude. He was really funny, super cool. Little chunk, you know what I mean? Like, he was awesome. And I talked to this guy for a lot of years. So while I was working there, because I say a lot of years, I talked to him after we both stopped working at the movie theater. But after my first year of employment, which I only lasted about a couple of months after that, I was getting in trouble a lot. I was kind of defying authority, and I didn't really like a lot of the rules. And when you work at places like that, you kind of just get into that power struggle of like, oh yeah, your phone's not allowed, and you're not allowed to do this, and you can't sit down, and you can't, you have to walk, and you have to do this, and you have to do that. And not like I'm some social justice warrior. It's just kind of annoying. So I didn't really last too long after that. Neither did he. He actually, unfortunately, got fired. But I followed shortly after him. I quit, got a better job where I worked at Family Video, which I said a very peculiar, very peculiar story.
Check out Work Life.
Yeah, you
You'll
should
hear that
definitely
story.
check out Work Life. But so yeah, I went to a party with this guy. Like I said, he was a really good friend of mine. A lot of the people that were my friends in real life, like that I saw at school and then I hung out with at my parents' home, stuff like that, I didn't talk to as much for a certain degree of time, doing my own things with Brock and with other people. I hung out with this guy. He was like, hey, I want you to meet my friends and we should, go hang out. So I was like, all right, man. Like, what day, you know what I mean? Like, what do you want to do, and when do you want to hang out? And he was like, yeah, you work on Friday of a particular day. I was like, yeah. He was like, you close? I was like, yeah. So, we both close together. If you close at AMC on a Friday, ushing or concessions, you're supposed to, ushing being you clean the theater, and concessions, you being, like, giving out popcorn, making food, like, stuff like that. You're supposed to get out at around like 10 or 11 o'clock. Like, so it's supposed to be 15 minutes past the last showing. And then once you do the last showing, it's at 15 minutes. You clean everything. You clean your last theaters. You meet up. And then you guys leave together. The box office gets to leave a little bit before you. And then, like, you all, like, do, like, a little triangle thing. Like, hey, box office can leave. You guys do your two things. Then you guys leave together, or vice versa. So if the box office has to leave later, then one of you two guys has to stay with the box office, and yada yada. It's like a safety thing. So he was like, yeah, you close on this day, on Friday. I was like, yeah. He's like, all right, so you drive home, give me your address, and I'll come pick you up, and then we'll go to this party. So I was like, okay. So he didn't say a party. He said I was going to meet his friends, but it was a party. So I drove to my parents' house. Yeah, the old switcheroo for sure. So I drove to my parents' house, which obviously is where I lived. I was like 15, 16, or whatever, 16 years old. And he picked me up. And so we go to the ass end of a street. Like, we know where the street is. It starts with penis. Like, it doesn't. But, like, so we drove to the ass end of the street. It was probably about 35 minutes away from my parents' house.
God damn.
And so I was like, okay, whatever. I'm already along for the ride. I was ready to have a good time. Like, I wasn't afraid. I trusted him. Like, he was cool. And So I was like, yeah, I mean, like, I want to hang out. I want to do some stuff. I want to meet your friends, see what they're like. So we get there. I meet some of his friends. I meet a lumberjack looking guy. I meet a couple that are really cool. And I meet this one guy who was like really adept in music and just creativity and art. Like for the first couple of hours, like I think we got there at probably about like 11 p.m. And for like the first hour or two, like it was, I mean, it really was fantastic. Like I met a lot of really, really cool people. And that's how parties usually go. Like when you're able to open yourselves up and meet new people and do new things, like you find really cool things about other people and about yourself. And so I was having a really good time. And then there was a guy that had texted us, and so we were in a small apartment complex.
Oh, God.
And so not a small apartment complex. It was an apartment complex. There was like a little courtyard in between. There was another apartment complex of the same size, and so on. You repeated that like 3 times, right? So it was like everything was the same. Everything was uniform. The same exact amount of rooms, same exact amount of apartments, same exact amount of square footage and parking lot space, and so on and so forth. But this person that they knew lived on the balcony apartment across the courtyard from the apartment that we were in. So he was texting one of my friend from the movie theater. He was texting his friend and saying like, hey, what are you guys doing? Like, I can see that you guys are hanging out and stuff. Like, you know what I mean? I was out on the patio smoking a cigarette. Like, you know, what are you guys doing? So they invited him over. So he comes over to the apartment. And I don't really have to like disclose or be afraid of disclosing his name because he literally came into the apartment and I was like, hey man, what's up? And I was I was like door guarder, you know what I mean? And I'm a very small person. Even now, like I said in the last episode, I gained a little weight, but I'm like 5'5", maybe 5'6" on a good day.
Critical would fucking love you.
And I'm small. And I was actually small without gaining any weight. Like, I was probably 30 pounds skinnier at the same size. I'm like, yeah, man, what do you want? And he's like, get out of the way. And I was like, no. And he was like, you know what? That's weird because I will plow right through you. And I was like, all right, bro. I was like, you're really trying to do that shit? And he was like, yeah, man. Do you want to know what they call me? I was like, yeah, I do. He said, I'm the Rhino. I said, all right, bro. You can come in then. I was like, I guess that's fine. I was like, you're taller than me. You're a skinny white guy. I get it. Okay, that's cool. So we're playing Irish poker and we're drinking and we're having a good time. You know what I mean? He came in. He was a really nice, conversational guy. But, you know, he really made a liveliness to the party. His girlfriend ended up coming over. She brought like a little subwoofer. Him and my friend and the guy who was musically adept that I really loved, that was making his own music. They were playing guitar, bass, and the guy was the guy who was musically adept was playing a keyboard. So, you know, they were doing a little bit of recording. They were doing stuff on YouTube. Like, you know, I mean, like, we were watching some stuff. And I mean, like, I was having the time of my life. I was having a really good time. I was talking to my dude's friends and just sitting down on beanbags, you know, eating chips and drinking a little bit of drink. And, you know, we were smoking a little bit of weed and just, we were having a really great time. And nothing was bad. Like, I mean, really nothing was bad. I was having a great time. And then we went out on the balcony or whatever you want to call it. It's technically a porch. It's not a balcony. Like, if you're in an apartment, you don't have a balcony of, like, a walkout porch. Like, because if you fuck anybody's stuff up or you're super loud or whatever, people get to call the police on you. It's not your house, you know what I mean? So we walked out, and the guy who was doing amazing music, he taught me how to roll my own cigarettes, and he had a roller, he had his own tobacco. So me and my friend from the movie theater, we were rolling cigarettes for probably 30, 45 minutes. We were just rolling. I rolled a cigarette, I smoked it, I rolled a couple cigarettes, and then I smoked one or two, and then I rolled some more cigarettes. Like, with this prime quality tobacco, it was beautiful. Like, it was really an amazing time when we're listening to the house made, legitimate person to person music made from these guitars and bass and YouTube and synth and piano and keyboard music, in this apartment. It was just great. And then all of a sudden the hookah came out, and all of a sudden the weed came out, and then we were smoking weed out the hookah, and then all of this stuff. It was just so great.
Sounds like a good time.
It was great. It was really, really fun. And then
What a great experience. Wholesome.
It was wholesome. It was
For a second,
wholesome.
I thought it was taking a dark turn. I was like,
It is
no.
going to, yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So then the guy says, hey, we should go outside. This is the guy that texted my friend from the other apartment. That said he was the rhino, right? So he wants to go outside.
Rhino.
So we go outside to the courtyard. We had rolled 70 cigarettes, me and the other guy. We went through 4 bags of tobacco, rolled super fat cigarettes, because he didn't have he had cigarettes,
The tube?
the tubes, but he had papers. I mean, everything. So he was just fill up all the tobacco that you can. And so we filled everything up. We had quote unquote not weed, but backwoods. So we literally took blunt wraps and rolled them with tobacco, and so people were smoking those, and I just did a whole bunch of stuff because it was just a nice easy crank, you know what I mean?
Oh,
We
yeah.
were listening to the music and we were vibing and everything. It was great. So he wanted to go outside. Well, he went outside, the rhino guy, and everybody followed him. And then he texted his girlfriend, who was still in the other apartment. For whatever reason, he didn't invite her. I don't know. But she comes out, and this bitch is sexy as fuck, about to play this bass. She played that bass on the biggest subwoofer I've ever seen. And that shit started shaking the ground.
Good Lord.
And
I bet the neighbors were pissed.
Yeah. We were having a great time until that happened, right? And I didn't really get to meet the rhino guy. I was supposed to stop him, and that was the point. And he was a very skinny white guy. I could have stopped him. Listen, I can kill men, all right? But I could have stopped him, but I wasn't trying to do that. I was trying to have a good night. That was the point. So he gets his girlfriend to do that. And a neighbor comes out. She said, the neighbor came out, it was a woman. She said, turn that shit down now. And I saw her, and I went up, not went up, because she's on the balcony where Rhino's girlfriend is playing the music. So I went to the 2 balconies to the right. So there's the balcony that he's on. Imagine a median where you get to walk into an apartment median, so you get to go up and down the stairs on either side, and then there's 1 door and then 2 doors to the right. So I walk over to her, and I'm looking up, and I said, hey, I'm really sorry that this is super loud. I don't have any control over it. I don't live here. This is my first time here. I told him that we shouldn't be doing that, but his girlfriend is literally playing the bass guitar out of the subwoofer over here. And she was like, is it Rhino? And I was like, okay, so you know who it is? Are you upset then or not? And she was like, yeah, I'm actually upset. I've told this guy so many times. So I was like, okay, I'll go talk to him. I was like, please don't call the police. I'll be right back. She said, yeah, that's fine. So I go and tell him. He gets his girlfriend to stop playing the music, but he gets her to bring the subwoofer down so that she can fucking play the music without the bass guitar in the middle of the courtyard. So I was like, okay, God. Great. I was like, so the police are going to be called. I tell my friend and my friend's friends, I was like, this girl said that this woman said she's going to call the police. Like, basically, I was like, she doesn't like it. She talked to him before. She talked to her before. This is not a good idea. So we fast forward a little bit just to get through the actual breadth of the story. The whole breadth of the story is when we went outside, we had played a little game of Irish poker yet.
No. Yeah.
I took acid for the first time because they put acid tabs in the drinks that we were supposed to take for Irish poker.
Oh my God.
So when I was really getting serious about this music thing, I didn't really know that I was like legitimately starting a trip on this like acid venture.
LSD.
Yeah. So I started tripping, like, and I knew that they were in there. I knew that they were in there, but they put them in. But they put them in the drinks. They put them in the drinks, and it was my first time. He said, "Hey man, $30. I'll put a tab in your drink." I was like, "Sure." Like, I was like, "Are you gonna do it?" And then all of his friends, like my friend from the movie theater, was like, "Are you gonna do that?" And I was like, "Dude, are you guys gonna do it?" And he was like, "Yeah, we're all gonna do it. Like, that's why actually we got together." And I was like, "Yeah, dude, $30." He was like, "Hey man, if you buy two and you buy one for your friend, then I'll give you guys both one tab for $30." So I was like, "Okay, so if mine was gonna cost $30, I'll pay for his two." So I was like, "Yeah, I'll give you $30 for the two of the tabs." So he put the tabs in the shots on the rims. We played Irish poker. We took all the shots. But we had specified shots that if you did a certain thing, then you would be the person that took the thing. He had a little fucking counter on a notebook that said whoever did and didn't take a shot. So we ended up taking the shot of the alcohol that had the tab in it, and we were supposed to specifically keep the tab in our mouth for 25 minutes. So I'd swallow the tab when we went outside, and I was talking to that lady, and I was trying to get everybody calmed down a little bit because, I mean, I was young, and I still am the same kind of way that I really don't like a lot of domestic disturbance. I really don't like to be getting in trouble.
Have fun,
Exactly. So
that's how I am too.
Now I didn't realize that I was freaking out until I was freaking out. Everybody said that everything was fine. And it was fine because in hindsight, the lady ended up calling the police.
That sounds like a terrible time.
She called the police, but the police already knew that Rhino and his girlfriend were idiots, and the girl always wanted to call the police, but they were having threesomes all the time. So they discounted her. So she came, we saw the police lights, everybody got really scared. Everybody went back to my friend from the movie theater's friend's apartment. And then, so we went back out to the courtyard and everybody's having a good time, yeah. So I started really tripping the fuck out. Like, I really did. And I was like, looking at things, and things really, because this is my first time. This is really, really, truly, I mean, it was my first time doing anything besides smoking, basically. Like, and I was like, I was like, in the courtyard, like, bro, there is really something wrong with me right now. And they're like, yeah, man, it's okay. It's like really cool, huh? I was like, yeah. You know, like, yeah, man. It's great.
Just go with the flow. Oh my gosh.
Acid. Everything disappeared. Everything. Total black void. But like amazing music in the background and all the dispute and arguing and everything was gone. Everything was gone. And I was just doing my thing. It was really cool. I came out because I'm walking towards the light. I'm in the courtyard still. And Rhino is talking to me. He's got his phone out. He's like, hey, give me your phone number. I was like, okay. So gave him my phone number, and he's got like old, like legitimate Razor phone, and I don't know how that motherfucker got to keep that shit as long as he did, because that motherfucker literally, he was like, yeah, I'm 27, and I was like 16, 15.
Oh my god.
So I was like, dang, you got this shit for a long ass time. Like, you're on a grandfather plan. Like, you got like you got an old ass phone. I was like, all right, bro, you got a drug dealer phone. And so he was like, yeah, man, can I come over to your house? I was like, well, it's not my house. So I was like, I'll go ask. So I went over to my friends. I'm really starting to fucking fairyland, like, float over the motherfuckers. Like, I mean, I'm like jumping on non-existent, like 100% zero gravity planes of existence, like all the way over to my friends. And I'm like, hey man, Rhino said, can he come over? And my dude from the movie theater was like, why would we want him to come over? I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, do you not know what happened, like, in the last little bit of time? I was like, no. You know, I was like, why? What's wrong with them? He was like, the cops were called, which is why I said that earlier.
Yeah.
He was like, he was playing the guitar and had his girl play the bass, like, on the thing, and they were in the courtyard and everybody ran, and you were just, like, in the courtyard. I was like, well, you told me to do this. Like, you know what I mean? I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I told you I never did anything like that. And he was like, yeah, but we were watching videos, and, like, I told you to stay with me, and I thought that we were gonna have a good time and stuff. I was like, I'm having a great time. I was like, what are you talking about? And he was like, do you remember the videos? And do you remember dude's music? Like, his original music? I was like, yeah, it was great. And I was like, all the Looney Tunes and Disney's and stuff. Like, yeah, it was great. And he was like, okay, so
you fucking brain of steel to be that chill after all of that on acid.
Oh, I know.
My brain would have been scrambled fucking eggs.
Dry,
like,
right?
Everywhere.
Yeah.
I'd have been like,
and drinking, smoking a little bit, you know what I mean?
Oh my god, I would have been Dunyan rings. The cops... Bro,
yeah, I know.
We went up to the cabin that one time, and
I know.
Fucking the cops. It's the cops.
That's a story for another day.
I'm not telling that story, but just the cops.
Cops.
And then the cops actually came.
Though. That shit pissed me off.
And then fucking, I was running. I was like,
go, dude. We were on the longboards on the lake.
Yeah,
we were on the longboards on the lake.
That was a great fucking vacation.
It was.
Say the
it was
least,
great.
Though.
But anyway,
yeah, go ahead.
So they were kind of mad. They were mad at me, and I was like, okay, well, I'll just tell him that you guys said he can't come over. So I go back over to him, and I was like, yeah, they said you can't come over. He was like, what do you mean? I was like, they said you can't come over because apparently I haven't really been listening very well, and we're in trouble, so you can't come over. And he was like, what do you mean? And I was like, I already told you that you can't come over because we haven't been listening very well. And he was like, what do you mean? And I was like, listen, bro, you're not really that scary, but now I'm kind of scared. I was like, I told you that we haven't been listening very well. He was like, okay then. And I was like, okay, well, you have my number, so I'm going to leave tomorrow, but if you want to hang out, then just let me know. And he was like, okay then. And I was like, okay, I'll see you later, man. And now, granted, like I said, he lives like 20 feet away from this apartment. I turned around and like I took a step, and it was like some video game shit, motherfucker. I'm telling you seriously. And I took a step, and it was like I had the power of God inside of me. Like the ground started shaking, and I was like, oh my God. So I took another step, and I was like shaking. I was like, holy shit, like the ground is freaking out.
God.
Nobody's around me. Like, I turn to my left, I turn to my right. I'm looking straight, like I'm looking up at the sky, making sure that the apocalypse is not fucking upon me. I was like, holy shit, what's happening? And so I took one more step, my third step, and like my body was shaking so bad that like I stumbled a little bit. I turn around. There was a rhinoceros behind me. And I looked at this thing and I turned around and I was like, oh my God. Like,
Sounds like the most
I was
true
like,
reaction to anything.
oh
I've
my
heard.
God. I was like, that is a rhinoceros.
God.
And this thing, whenever I took a step, it put its foot into like the dirt of the courtyard. Like, it was in the courtyard. It wasn't a savannah high main like hallucination. It was like it was real. It was right in front of me. And I was really dumb at the time when I was walking towards it. But then I realized as I walked towards it and it was still happening and it was getting closer to me and I was getting more and more afraid because I didn't know what was happening, that I needed to turn around and run away because I was really fucking scared. So I started running the opposite direction and my entire world was shaking. There was a legitimate 1,000-pound rhinoceros running at me, chasing me while I'm on this drug, and I'm only 20 feet away, 25 feet away from the apartment that I'm staying in all night. I ran so far away from that apartment that I had no idea where I was. I ran so fucking fast. And every single step that this rhinoceros was taking, I was looking back and this thing was transforming from a rhinoceros into an elephant, into this savannah high mane fucking lion, and back into a rhinoceros, and the entire world is closing in upon me, that I feel closer and closer and closer and closer and closer, that this thing is catching up to me, about to swallow me whole, about to stab me with its horn, about to eat me alive, that I finally came out into a clearing in the middle of Alpine Road, at a gas station, and I followed this light, and it was literally just a normalized street light that had trees that the leaves were falling off because it was the middle of November, and here I am, and my friends text me like half an hour later because I thought that I was fucking getting sucked into Starry Night.
Oh my God.
After getting chased by a rhinoceros, straight up, because the dude's name was Rhino.
Yeah.
That's what they told me.
Yeah.
They were like, what happened? I was like, dude,
That's being chased by
there
Rhino.
was a rhinoceros, bro. I was like, this shit was so scary. I was like, he was transforming into other fucking African animals. I was like, you guys don't understand. I'm grabbing people by the fucking shirt on their chest. I was like, you don't understand. I was like, you don't understand. I was like, where am I? I was like, what's happening? Where did you guys come from? And they're like, dude, what happened? What happened? I was like, dude, it was a rhinoceros. I was like, but look at this light. I was like, but look at this street light. I was like, it looks so cool. It looks like Starry Night.
Though. That's how it goes, man. I swear to God, that's acid talk. You go from one thing to another thing and be transfixed on that one thing for so long, and then when you get to the other, it's so back and forth. Oh my God, you're unlocking so much like gray matter. It's like fucking coming back up from the spinal cord, and like I'm literally getting like that tingle from the back of my throat when it starts to like. Chills. Oh my God, that takes me back.
In the end of the story, as cool as it is, the greatest time that I think I've ever had on this specific drug, that dude got mad arrested. He's in a maximum security prison. He was a terrible person. Right, it was completely homemade synthetic.
Oh yeah, like Grateful Dead type shit.
Well, no,
like the blotter shit.
Grateful Dead stuff is not safe because it's acid, but it's safer. This guy found some guys and they made it. And it worked. I mean, it did what it was supposed to do. And I mean, I had a great time. but
Jesus.
I mean, I found a whole nother
Lucky to be alive.
Hey, I mean, like, we need to have a whole nother podcast about camping, because that shit is the only reason I even want to do it again. Because camping was, like, for me,
I don't know.
I mean, I took acid 3 days in a row.
I don't know how the fuck you were able to function at all.
It was
Human,
amazing.
dude.
I took Haley home too.
Oh, I know. That's
Riding
what I'm talking
Rainbow
about.
Road, man, that shit was
I
great.
know.
Everything about that.
You were going
the
like
whole trip was great.
102 fucking.
No,
going
I was
through
not
the
going
fucking,
102.
Going in and out of lanes and shit. Just fucking.
I was not going 102.
That's the way you explained it to. Well, not 102. I was exaggerating.
That's probably
but
what
like,
it looked like to me in general. I was trying to go. I
45,
mean,
the
I don't
minimum.
know about the speed limit, but I mean, yeah, I was driving like fast.
That's and we did honestly,
the golf cart segment. We did
whole,
the longboard segment. Like
that's a whole fucking show, dude. That is
dude.
A whole
I mean,
episode.
like space literally was like my bitch, man. Like I could make every constellation. Like I mean, that was amazing. But anyways, so that's my story, my party boy story, my first party boy story. We definitely will have a party boy part 2. We definitely will.
Yeah, there will be a part.
We're gonna get Brock's story in here, and honestly, at the amount of time that I'm really sorry that I took up, I think we'll skip the correlation story.
Okay, we'll just save it for part 2.
Yeah.
All right. Well, my story is not as fucking wild as that, because that is a fucking.
It was just my first. It was just my first time. I mean, it was it was unprecedented.
That is a party though. Mine's more.
There was
like,
only 7 people.
That's a local.
Can you
gathering.
imagine that? Exactly.
Gathering.
Can you imagine that? We had 5 people at my house today.
So add 2 more, and we got an acid trip.
Right? We have a fucking.
We had acid. Trip.
We have an African safari into outer space type
oh my
shit.
God.
You know, man, it's wild.
Okay, so my story takes place back in high school, back in sophomore year, back when good old 2012 when I was learning how to drive. So again, Dad, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry, but my dad would give me money and I would kind of stash it away and I would save it and stuff, and like come the weekends I would usually spend it. So I had like a couple $100, and I was hanging out with the trailer gang. I call them that, but honestly, it was some of the greatest people I've ever met in my life. They were super sweet. Like if I wasn't having a good like home life, they'd take me in and they'd let me stay with them, and like it was really great. And honestly, I had some of the best times of my life over there.
They were great in the beginning.
Yeah, to be honest, up until like the end there.
Never mind.
I had a couple $100, and I was hanging out over there. For being a sophomore in high school, that's a lot of money.
In the parks?
In the parks. So I was hanging out over there, and it was already a party. Like there was probably like 15, 20 people all huddled together in this fucking trailer.
Yeah.
So not to mention, I'm pretty sure I invited you, and I invited a few more people, and this is like one of the first of many parties that I decided to throw.
You threw a party in the parks?
No, at my mom's house.
Oh, you're saying you're in the parks, my nigga.
Oh yeah, I know.
Oh, okay.
It started there.
Oh, okay.
Because I texted my mom, because everyone was like, "Oh, I want to go to a party. I want to go to a party."
Yeah, you said it was a homecoming party.
I think.
You're right.
Well, that's a whole nother thing.
Oh.
This is the party where I met the ex-wife.
Your ex-wife?
Yeah. My ex-wife.
Who's your ex-wife? Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So, anyway.
This wasn't where MS got sick?
No.
No.
That was before.
That was before?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that was way before.
Because I was definitely there for MS.
That had to have been before.
And it wasn't after C shot D.
Or
D or C shot you in your face.
Yeah, no, that was before.
That was before.
That was
okay.
before.
Okay, so we're all
that
past
was
it now.
way before.
Okay, yeah, so we're okay. I know exactly where we're
now
talking
you know
about.
now
We're
you know
all
the timeline.
past it. Okay, yeah.
So Anyway, I'm in the parks and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, I want to go to a party. I want to have a party, but you know we're all broke." And I am with this wad of cash, and I'm like, "Guys,
I got it.
I could throw us a party."
Hey, Mom.
And they're like, "Oh well, we need a place to go." And I'm like, "Let me make a phone call."
Hey, Mama.
So this is where my beautiful mother came into play. I called up my mom and I was like, "Hey, Mom, what are you doing right now?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm just hanging out at home. What's up?" And I was like, "So you know Destiny throws parties at your house, right?" She's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "You know, I'm about her age when she was doing that, right?" And she's like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Are you telling me you want to have a party?" And I was like, "Yeah, Mom, you care if I invite some friends over?" And I think she was thinking like a couple of friends, meaning you.
Oh, I know.
Our other guys.
I handled it.
Instead, I show up with about 6 carloads of people.
Now, I will let you guys know that I call this the animal cracker debacle.
Oh, because the animal crackers got
in a lot of trouble.
We got
for
in
Savannah's
we got in
animal
a
crackers.
fuck ton of trouble that night for a lot of things. Not only that,
dude,
she was pissed for a
put
stupid
all the
reason.
Cigarette butts on the wall.
Hold on, man. Let me tell this story.
All right, I'm sorry.
Okay, so we're rolling up. And my mom's like, "All right, so we don't have much here for alcohol, so you guys are paying for it. I'm not paying for anything." And I was like, I slapped down my couple $100, and I was like, "Yeah, so just go to the liquor store and just get us Loopy and tarts and Sprite,
oh my
god, and rum chata and Corona, you know, UV blue, UV whipped, all that cheap shit that we used to be in love with."
The 3 Olives Loopy was the best though,
dude. The Loopy was good if you drank it with the right
with
stuff.
The rum chata,
because then it tasted
and
like
honestly regular milk.
Yeah, because it just tastes like a bowl of cereal, like
in
that
the animal crackers.
So my mom runs to the liquor store, and you know we're already starting to bump. You know, we got music playing. You know, people are vibing, people are talking. My mom comes back with 3 boxes full of liquor and mixers.
She knows she spent her own money.
She definitely she pitched in a little bit because my mom at the time loved to drink too.
She was drinking.
So my mom like hung out, dude. We went to my dad's and we picked up the folding table, and out for mom.
Love mama.
We went and got the folding table. We got pong balls, pong cups. We smoked in the garage. We smoked cigarettes in the garage.
Yes, sir.
We were bumping music. We had the TV going. Like, people were allowed to smoke out back. Like, it was bumping. It was happening.
It was bumping. In that condo?
In that
condo, my nigga?
In that condo.
That was
When NDOT got sick, we made the Jello shots.
Oh my god.
And then
my god. That was when MS got sick too, though. It was.
Yes.
Because he was my beer pong partner.
And
then I had to go take care of
drank the rum. Maybe that was the same night.
It was, I promise. Because if that was when NDOT got sick, MS got sick before that. Your mom was drinking mad as fuck that
he's still known as Puke Kid.
He did everything
up until
he did everything because then I had to start taking his things because we played real beer pong.
Yeah,
we played real beer pong, and he threw up in the recycling bin.
I remember. Yeah, he puked everywhere. Everywhere he got so sick.
And then NDOT came out.
Puking pretty colors.
Elijah, I don't feel good.
Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good.
And so, I had to...
we were vibing for a while. We were vibing for a while, and we were having a fuck ton of fun. Taking shots, we were playing quarters on that little round table.
We did play quarters! Oh my god!
And then we were playing pong in the garage. we were playing pong in the garage. And, dude, people were getting fucked up. Dude...
Oh my god.
I don't even care to name drop him.
Fucked up is an understatement.
Jareth fucking that dipshit.
He did his fucking
That motherfucker smoked an entire pack of my cigarettes.
I hate him.
Me too. Trust me, me too.
Shit. And he threw up and he flung the pong table and he took he fell.
No, he didn't fling it. He fell on it.
Yeah, I know. And grabbed the cigarettes he was smoking and put them out all over the wall and started drawing shit all over the place.
Not only that. So people saw him. Well, 3 in particular people saw him doing that, putting his cigarette butt out on the wall in the garage. So people took it. We had a bin for all the cigarette butts, trying to keep it clean.
That they could
They took them out of the bucket and they started drawing pictures.
Yep.
Now, one of them was very respectful. It was a very beautiful flower, which is cool. You know, at least it's a fucking flower.
It doesn't matter.
The other one was a jizzing penis with a hefty set of balls.
No, I remember.
And the other one was a very hairy vagina with open lips.
Yep.
Like the fucking flower monster from Jumanji.
Very talented. Very talented.
Yeah. They're the next Gustos or whatever the fuck they're called. That guy. Whatever his name is.
Sure, bro. Sure. Yeah, Gustos. Yes.
So, yeah.
That was them Gustos.
There was puke everywhere.
That's true. That is true.
We all passed out. Nobody drove, thank God.
Yeah, you know what? I'll say that. Like, your mom took everyone's keys.
Yeah,
like,
that was a rule of my mom's. If you start drinking,
trapped.
you're staying the night.
Everybody was trapped.
Yeah. It's like if you even have
Nobody
a shot,
left.
you're not
Nobody left.
You're not getting your keys.
Nope.
And everyone was cool with it. Everyone was like, "All right, yeah."
She was mad at the amount of people that stayed, but she saved a lot of lives. She
wasn't even really mad about the amount of people. She was mad because
it was a mess and it was pukey.
It was pukey and the cigarette. It was the fucking
the cigarette
stuff on the wall
like that. Yeah, like
so she literally woke up and her roommate at the time woke up and saw that and freaked out. And then my sister wanted something to be mad at, so she got mad because we ate her fucking animal crackers.
Frosted animal crackers. They were delicious.
Jesus Christ!
You watched Ant.
We watched Ants?
Yeah, Ants. The guy that was bald that has no face, the horror movie, in the Ants. You know what I'm talking about?
God, dude, I was so drunk. The bald guy with the ants.
Go ahead, keep talking. I'll find it for you.
Okay.
It was a horror movie.
But yeah, that was basically the moral of the story of that night. We got in a fuck ton of trouble as we got woke up. And we were partying probably until 3 a.m. And we got woke up at the crack ass of dawn by my mom yelling for everybody to get the fuck out of her house because she was that angry about the cigarette butts all over her wall, which at the time I was like, oh, Mom, yeah, like I'm going to clean it. Like, don't worry. Just please, God, just let me sleep. And, it sucked. I mean, it was fun for sure. And we had a lot of weed. Dude, I remember going to fucking V and fucking picking up like $60 fucking dollars or like $120 of fucking weed. And I had a gallon baggie full of weed. No, yeah, and then that shit got fucking smoked up too. That was gone all in the same night. The booze was almost gone all in the same night. Fucking, we got Corona for beer pong. Put the Corona in there. Was there.
Was there.
Oh my God! And it was his idea to put the Corona and the rum chata and shit in the pong cups, and that's how you were supposed to play it. Then that's what fucking made. Oh God, I'm just name dropping everywhere.
You are.
I'm name dropping everyone.
You definitely are.
Oh
but,
God.
Yeah, you're right. That's exactly why that happened.
Oh my God.
And then you know what? Just because you're gonna have to do it in post, puked like 8 different colors from the Jello shots that she made and brought over. That shit,
they were so fucking good though. I don't think I got sick that night though.
I mean, no, I didn't either. I had to take care of her, and that was when. So yeah, I mean, like we can cut that whole thing out, I guess, if we want. But like, that was what that was. We can cut that whole portion out until we get to this right here. Like, that's what that was. You know what I mean? Like that was the timeline. That's what that was.
Fucking name dropped everybody.
You did. Like, I mean, it was like
normally I'm pretty good about it, but yeah, I just said fuck it.
Yeah,
that's what that was. But yeah, we could probably wrap this one up.
Yeah, I mean, man, why you sound so upset?
No,
like,
man.
Yeah, let's wrap that
4:30.
We can wrap that one up. Yeah, no, I mean, I get it. I'm tired now, too. But, yeah, so, Brock was the host, but he's tired.
Yeah, I'm all tuckered out. I had a long, big day.
It was a long, big day for
Brock
a long, little boy.
Day today. I learned how to ride my bike with no training wheels.
Jesus Christ. Don't tell people that, man. That was probably real.
I got to take the helmet off today, guys.
Yes, and then I hit my head. All right. Hey, listen, I'm gonna take this one out. This was Party Boys.
Productions, baby.
BNE. You know, honestly, I think
Bacon
that's
and
okay.
eggs.
I think that's okay. Yeah.
I like BNE.
Yeah, BNE is not bad.
Brock and Elijah.
I mean, you rightfully get to go first, but you also get to go first in Moist Vex. So, you know,
I didn't even put that connection. I just got B&E
that
because
was why we were MVVC, Moist Vex Variety Channel.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you're always first. I mean, you got the equipment, you got the audio, the video, the editing,
The meats.
and the vaginas.
Oh my god.
Meats and Vaginas Variety Channel.
Pickles and eggs.
Yeah, so let me tell you this. Our webcam's coming tomorrow. I'll tell you this too. 1080p, only 30 frames per second, but we're going to try to do that shit for Facecam. And we're going to try to be able to get that shit done for other things that... I'm not going to say we're going to do anything as stupid or as fun as the birth video.
I don't know if we could ever top that.
But we're going to try. We got some real life stuff coming up. It's winter in Illinois right now.
Yeah, I really wanted to cut pumpkins,
yesterday,
but we were put on such a time crunch with that.
Yesterday though was winter in Illinois. It's been snowing for 2 days now.
Yeah.
So we'll do as good as we can to get videos out. We'll do as good as we can. With the camera coming in, we're gonna really try to step this shit up.
I got a lot of work to do. Trust me, there's a lot in the works. It's just a matter of time to work on it.
And I bought the webcam, and I'm not out here trying to sell out or be cool. Brock has literally paid for everything else that we do on this channel. The editing software, the dampener, the mic. He bought his own headset. I mean, the electrode thing that we used for the birth video. I mean, he's put a lot of money, a lot of effort, and a serious amount of time into this shit. So, if anybody likes this stuff, like, comment, and subscribe.
Please.
Seriously. And I will try to get my own Adobe Premiere software. I mean, I can get my own Adobe Premiere software. If I want to make videos, or Brock wants to make videos, or we need to do things in between each other, then we're gonna do this shit. I mean, we've been saying it, but we are gonna do it. We just need a little bit of support, and we want to know that people want to watch it. This is us signing out on the MVVC podcast, the BNE Productions.
Party boys, baby.
Party boys. And you guys have a good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.